The impact Juice WRLD left on this world within only a year and a half is nothing short of remarkable. His breakout single, Lucid Dreams, debuted on May the 4th, 2018, and he passed away from a drug overdose on December 8th, 2019. Even after his death, his presence is felt in the music of thousands of rappers who try to copy and emulate that same magic he made look so effortless. In this video, I want to break down the mentality and components that went into making Juice WRLD so great, not only to educate, but to inspire the next generation of artists looking to follow in his path. In the 3 years since he started releasing music to SoundCloud, Juice had found huge success with a tenored voice combination of melodic hip-hop, emo, and pop punk. His music stood out for its rawness and emotional vulnerability. In the intro to Lean With Me off 2018's platinum-selling Goodbye and Good Riddance debut, he sang,
"Drugs got me sweating, but the room getting colder. Looking at the devil and the angel on my shoulder. Will I die tonight? I don't know, is it over? Looking at my next high, I'm looking for closure."
This rawness in his lyrics wasn't just some drug-addicted persona he created for the sake of the music. This was his real life. Which brings me to the first reason why Juice WRLD was so great, which is his authenticity. Check out this quote from a Juice WRLD interview. "Most fucking rappers rap about getting high and feeling great, but I talk about the good side and the bad side just to shed some light on the negative side." Artists form deep connections with their listeners via the lyrics in their songs. When Juice spoke about his addictions or his feelings, he spoke to people who were going through similar things. Unlike when a rapper speaks about material stuff such as cars and money, we all can relate to being heartbroken, the feeling of loneliness and depression. In an interview with NME.com, Juice WRLD says, "That's what makes you a real man though. You're not running from how you feel. That's what makes you one of the realest people to walk this earth. People usually look down upon that. They'll say you're soft. A lot of men make fun of you for expressing your feelings because they don't get it. They can't wrap their heads around the concept of being completely honest and forthright." For a lot of people, music is like therapy to them. Juice's music was a soundtrack for his fans' lives when they were going through something.
Sometimes I just leave it in the music though. And when I release it, there be people hitting me up like, "What, you went through this? I went through this, bro. I'm praying for you," know what I'm saying? Whatever the case.
In GQ magazine, platinum-selling producer Nick Mira said of Juice WRLD, "Juice's transparency made him into an instant star. Juice's honesty and everything he put into his music was really easy for people to accept and hear and want to share." Mira goes on to say, "There was always a relatability factor. Everybody could feel the true emotion. He wasn't just writing songs just to write songs to make money. He was expressing himself through his music, battling his own demons, battling his own problems, and literally putting it out on a track and letting the world judge. These themes are why Juice WRLD's music will forever be timeless. Trends will come and go, but human emotion will last forever." Being authentic wasn't the only component to his greatness though. Juice was a student of the game. He didn't just wake up one day and become a great artist. This was years in the making.
I started paying attention to music way before a lot of people my age. Like in second grade, wasn't nobody my age worried about no damn music. Wasn't nobody my age trying to memorize song lyrics and shit like that. Like, of course motherfuckers like music, but they weren't obsessed with it like I was, like I am.
Me, myself, I don't believe any person is born to be a rapper. A common pattern you see in the great ones, they had a passion for the art at an early age and studied the game. A lot of new rappers only developed their love for rap music a short time ago and then picked up rapping shortly after that. So it isn't so much about Juice WRLD being born to rap. It's more so he'd been exposed to it for most of his life. This exposure allowed him to witness different generations of rap, where new rappers may only be familiar with the new school. It's no coincidence Juice WRLD was so skilled at rapping. He grew up on the era where having great skills was still a thing to be championed.
Wayne, Gucci, Jeezy, Jewels, you know what I'm saying, everything. And I come back home and be reciting the lyrics in my head and forget some of them. And then I just add my own lyrics in there to fill it. And then that's just how I started. I was like 4 or 5 years old doing that. And I think I started like freestyling when I was real young. I think maybe about 2nd or 3rd grade.
Do you start freestyling, or you start or just get like really enjoying music?
Oh, I've been enjoying music for forever.
If you never heard of the 10,000 hour rule, it's an idea that if you practice at something deliberately for 10,000 hours, you'll become a master in that field. So if Juice WRLD started freestyling in the 2nd grade, let's say the age of 7, then that means by the time we heard him freestyling on the radio, he had already mastered the craft. This definitely gives a new meaning to putting the hours in. Not only did Juice put in a decade plus of work into his craft, he studied the generation that came before him. It's almost like he put himself through an informal education in order to become the artist we know today. A student of the game is an artist that not only studies what's current, but what came before. This put Juice WRLD ahead of most rappers in his lane because he could bring the skill of great rapping and freestyling to the subgenre of emo rap. This separated him from his peers who weren't as sharp with their own pen game. Another quality of a student of the game is the time they put into their craft. Repetition is the father of learning. All of those years exposing himself to listening and making music shaped Juice WRLD into the artist we know and love.
Cause I was the one at the end of the day that was like, I want to go to the studio every day.
Right.
Every fucking day. Every day. Sometimes I would have an agenda. Sometimes I would come and have to lock in with a producer, you know, like, oh, you should come here. Bro finna be here. Pull up, work with him. Cool.
Right.
I was planning to go anyway. So like every day.
The final component that I believe made Juice WRLD so great was his work ethic. Work ethic is defined as a belief in work as a moral good, a set of values centered on the importance of doing work and reflected especially in a desire or determination to work hard. Almost everyone who met Juice recognized his work ethic. Producer Benny Blanco remembers being blown away by his ability to craft a song on the spot. In GQ magazine, Blanco recalls Juice WRLD hears 1 second of the beat, he goes in, and not only does he come up with the lyrics and the melody, but he does the entire song in 1 take. Blanco mentions he did 3 more takes and did 3 more hit songs over the same beat, and then Juice WRLD told him to pick the one that he likes best. Juice recorded several songs in that first session with Blanco, and he would do the same with numerous other collaborators. Yeah, we recorded 8 songs that first day, says Blanco, still palpably amazed. And it wasn't like he had dumb lyrics, his shit made you feel something. Juice's strong work ethic is what kept him in the studio day after day. He was so passionate about making music, he didn't have to be motivated to go record. It was a daily routine. Even when he didn't have access to a studio, he would bring his equipment and engineer with him and set up wherever he was at.
He didn't care about going to some special fancy restaurant or whatever. He's like, let's just chill out in the hotel, and Max comes through, sets up the studio, and we record. You know, he's on tour. He just does this huge show. We go back to the hotel room, and then we're recording until 4 in the morning.
If you've ever been a gamer, think of how easy it was to turn on your system and play your favorite game. You look up and the hours seemed like they just flew by like minutes. I imagine this is the same feeling Juice got from making music. When you listen to the people that were around him talk about his work ethic, all of them have similar stories about how effortless making music was for him. When you spend so much time doing something you love, eventually it becomes automatic. Rex Cadeau describes Juice's insatiable desire to record as like a faucet that's stuck on. He just had a constant channel. It's not too often that artists are excited to record. Even if they're great, a lot of artists see it as clocking in or having to chase a hit. But he was like a kid in a candy shop, so excited and having so much fun with it, and having the awareness of how great the gift he had was, but not being clouded by it. He was just hungry, Cole Bennett adds. You could just kind of tell there was something different about him than a lot of artists. It's no wonder Juice WRLD became the star that he was. His authenticity allowed him to connect with millions of people around the world who were looking for a voice that shared the same struggles they were experiencing. It's rare in rap music you find an artist that is willing to express their true selves and be so vulnerable. There was a market for his music that wasn't being fed until he came along with his raw and emotional brand of rap. Couple that with Juice's skill as a rapper and you begin to see his recipe for success. His mastery of songcraft, freestyling, and rapping came from years of practice and study. You would be mistaken to think he woke up so proficient at this art. In primary school, Juice had already began his journey to become a good rapper by studying and memorizing some of the greatest artists of all time. Shortly after, he began trying his hand at rapping and never stopped. He was like a sponge, taking in different aspects of the science and then applying them. Many artists will have the ability and passion, but without the work ethic, it means nothing. For Juice, making music was like second nature to him. This allowed him to go about creating with a certain eagerness. This wasn't work for Juice WRLD, it was playtime. Imagine if your job was something so fun you couldn't be away from it for a single day. And I believe this is what ultimately made Juice WRLD so great. I hope this video was of value. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.